This is so cringy. So cringy. In some images, I see the evolution, but in some, I think they're just bad. Bad. Hey guys, what is up? My name is Steven. I'm the creator of Show It Better. And today I want to show you guys the evolution of my architecture images, renders, collages, whatever. And I want to show you guys the cringe-worthy images that I made in university to the less cringy, but still very improvable images that I make today for you guys. So let's hop on in and let me show you guys. Right, so for those of you that don't know, I am an architect. I graduated about 5 years ago from university. I graduated in 2015. I started university at 2010. When I started university, we didn't have these, or we did have, real-time rendering engines, but they weren't that easy to use. They didn't have the best results as possible, like Lumion does today. The majority of people just didn't render that much, or they used V-Ray, or they used Photoshop. So thanks to the internet, thanks to YouTube, I started to use Photoshop when I was in school. When I was in about second year, that I discovered Altographer, and that was a game-changing thing for me. And I want to show you guys the images from since my third year until now. So there are a lot of images, and I want to show you them to you guys very quickly because I don't want to take 1 hour here. So first of all, let's start with our, this is within 4th semester, and it was my first time using Photoshop, and I was using SketchUp as well. And I was just happy. I was just happy because I could make these type of images. And my when I was studying, this was like a really good image for my level. So I was very happy. Then the next semester, I started creating much more images and seeing much more tutorials online. And these were the type of images that I was creating, which I was really proud of because I think they were really interesting. They had a very nice color palette. And well, I really like them. There are many things that I would improve, but the majority of these images were done just like I've always done my images, which is a very normal base render in Photoshop, a very normal base render from V-Ray in SketchUp, and then the majority of the work was done in Photoshop. Then I was invited by some teachers to participate in a competition, and these were the images that I made for that competition. I was super happy because I was, my only task was to create renders and was to create these type of renders. And I created I was also creating like these type of floor plans, which I really liked as well. As I was doing them, I was discovering new things which I hadn't done before, and I really liked them. I did a year in Argentina where I studied in the University of Argentina, and this is more or less what we did for that year with a Mexican friend at the time. And it was a really cool project. I tested out creating some very nice diagrams. I didn't make the best images possible, but I really liked the results as well of the project. Okay, so my thesis project is really funny because again, this is like thesis. You have to create the best images possible, and this was like 2014, and I thought I was gonna create the best images, and some were good and some were like really shitty. The best one I liked was this aerial night image of the project, which I think you guys also see to this day, and I really like this image. I thought it was really cool. This was the majority of it was done in Photoshop, but then we have images like this, which they have some things that I don't like, but in general, I really like the images that I did for my thesis. I want to show you guys my whole thesis in a future video, so I'm going to show you everything right now. After I graduated, I worked in some architectural offices where I also had the role of creating these representations, or some people paid me as a freelancer to create some renders. And I created some renders that were really cringy, which I'm not proud of at all, but some images were very nice. So this was a competition, one of the first competitions that I participated in back in 2012, and I really liked the results. I was so excited that I sent it to Art Daily at the time to see if they would publish it, and they published it. So it was really cool to get published by Art Daily at that time, but I really liked it. Then I also had this competition that I worked in as well, which I really liked. So this was the main image, and this was the presentation board I created. I think all of this was done in Photoshop as well. At the time, I really didn't know anything about InDesign. You start learning step by step, and some images are not going to be the best, and some, if you test out a lot, they are going to be very good. And I think images are not all that you have to create, right? So you have to design well, you have to have a clear understanding of what your building is going to do. The image is not everything, but if the image is well represented and it communicates well the idea of the project, then it can help everything, right? It can help you, it can help your peers, it can help everyone. I started creating many more images for fun, honestly, because I wanted to improve my visualization skills, and I thought that this was the best way of doing it. So I was just grabbing any random project that I would find in the sketchbook warehouse, and I would try to visualize it in a different way, or with different kinds of tools, with different kinds of representations, which was something that I really liked. So that's one of the things that also led me to create the channel Show It Better, because with all the things that I was learning, with all the things that were available online, I thought that you could condense it in a more for a very specific public, which is like us architecture students, and we could learn it in an easier way. So these are some of the other images that I created at that time, which some of them I really liked. Honestly, right here I'm like putting the best of the best. Some images didn't even make it to this, but here you guys can see like how evolved everything is. So the last image I did was, I think, about a week ago for a tutorial that I am preparing right now. I made it all in Lumion, and honestly I don't have any problems with that. I don't think I'm only like a Photoshop, or I need to only use V-Ray, or if not, it's not a real image. I think we need to be as practical as possible, and if there are some tools that make our lives easier and we can use them in the best way possible, then why not use them? So I really like doing the majority of things in Photoshop because that's where I feel the most comfortable. But you can also do all this in V-Ray, or in, I don't know, whatever program, Illustrator, or maybe even Lumion. There are some people that use Lumion better than the rest of us, right? We have the same access to that tool, but for some sort of reason, we don't, like the majority of us, use it like in the most normal way possible. But there are some people that with Lumion, they create better results than anyone could create with any other engines, any other programs. So I think the important thing here is not the engine, not like how did you do it, what program did you use. I don't think that's as important as understanding color, as understanding composition, as understanding how your building is represented better, like what point of view your building needs. So that is what I think I have learned most throughout the years, right? That it doesn't really matter. Like the software doesn't really matter, the style doesn't really matter. We're now seeing that digital collages and renders can compete side by side, because some of them represent better the building and some of them don't, right? Or some hand drawings also represent buildings better. So there's no real need to stick to a program or anything like that. You just need to understand like the fundamentals of representation. And I wanted to show you guys this today because I just wanted to show you that everything is an evolution, and if you work, if you like practice every day, or practice every year, or with every project with intent, then eventually you can improve, and we will always have room for improvement. And that's what I am looking forward to creating each day better images, creating each day better things. And I hope you guys liked seeing this evolution of these images. And I would love to see what was your first versus your most recent image. And I don't know, send me an email, send me through Instagram, tag me in Instagram, and it would be cool to see how you have evolved as well. So yeah, that was the video. Thank you guys for watching it, and I will see you guys in a next video. All right, bye.